Okay, here's the agenda again, in case you just walked in. It says we're about to start the Live Work Play News. So for those who know what that means, what do we need first? That's later. But that's good. Be ready for that. We need the theme song, right? Okay, let's see. Hopefully it plays. Yes. It's a little quiet. Okay, before we dive into the top 15 stories from December to April, I want to be totally transparent. How do we rank these stories? You're probably wondering. I know some of you are thinking you've seen this algorithm before. If you look more closely, you'll see that we're now accounting for multiple social media feeds. We're weighting them according to the number of followers, and this means we will have our most accurate countdown to date. So that's our algorithm, just in case you're wondering. It's not random. And let's get into the countdown. Here we go with number 15. It was the first meeting of the Federal Employment Strategy Group for 2025. This online meeting of 75 delegates from across the country featured special guests that included Janelle Wright, Mary Eve LaRocque, and Phoebe Newhook, as well as Marissa Maher. Of the many highlights, we celebrated a success story from Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency, some of whom are featured in the provided photo. Congratulations to all the contributors, to Volunteer Chair Mary Gasella, and the employment team for another successful gathering to support inclusive employment in the federal public service. Thank you. At number 14, we are happy to celebrate the work of the Family Support Network for Employment, who hosted a weekend learning session for families in the Toronto area. Our own Rebecca Coxon attended as a panelist and participant to talk about the importance of school-to-work transitions with conversations hosted by FSNE co-chair Inez de Escalon. The weekend concluded with a series of lively table discussions, and Rebecca was cited as a knowledgeable and valuable resource. Congratulations to the Family Support Network for Employment on a great event. Coming in at number 13, sometimes a photo of just one person captures a moment and expresses a feeling that is shared by many others. Fresh off the Team Canada victory over Team USA, Janet Balcombe was out celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Canadian flag in downtown Ottawa, and this photo captured hearts and lifted the spirits of our followers. Beautiful. Number 12 on our countdown is a bit of a complicated story. Here's a short version. One of our inclusive employment specialists, Robert Olson, was meeting with Finance Canada for an update about a digitization project involving 6 employees recruited with help from Live Work Play. He found out the work was proceeding ahead of schedule, with the accuracy rate coming in at an incredible 98%. Pictured are Reina Idrisse, Information Management Analyst, and Aaron Ivers, Chief of Staff, who had just learned they were receiving an award from their Assistant Deputy Minister, Janelle Wright, in recognition of their work in framing and supporting the project. A complicated but very exciting story. Congratulations to all. Just outside the top 10, a story featuring a friendship match that was celebrated by Live Work Play coordinator Alex Darling in our volunteer newsletter. At the time, Tara and Julia had been matched for about a year, and they share all sorts of interests and hobbies. Some of this they do together in their homes, other times out in the town, everything from pottery to yoga to dance. We are sure they're excited for spring and ready to enjoy some outdoor fun as well. Way to go, Julia and Tara. Coming in at number 10, a story so fresh, it's not had time to climb the charts as far as we think it can go. It is the Maker House fundraiser from April the 4th, with 10% of their proceeds of the day going to Live Work Play. Many of our members stopped in to purchase a variety of Ottawa and Canadian-made items. They've got artwork, furniture, home decor, bath body, and more. If you want to shop local, you want to buy Canadian, check them out at 997 Wellington. Thank you, Maker House Company. I'm actually getting a signal from the control booth. Okay, we have breaking news that's coming in. Okay, is the live feed connected? Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, it's working. Oh.
Hi, Keenan. Sorry to interrupt your broadcast. This is Gareth and
Sophia
from Maker House. We heard that our fundraiser made the Live, Work, Play News countdown, so we wanted to let everybody know that over $500 was raised. We rounded that up to $600, and the donation has already been made. Woohoo!
Yay!
Our team loves it. We're celebrating. We want to thank everybody who popped into the store on Friday to help us raise that money, and we love the work you're doing at Live, Work, Play. Thank you to everybody for your continued work in our community, and we hope you have an awesome event.
All right. Thank you. That worked really well. Okay. That's true. Moving on. Coming in at number 9. Just another chapter in the brilliant story of our partnership with Ready, Willing, and Able. In this case, our own employment specialist, Neil Abraham, joined Kelsey Ross from RWA for a presentation at Algonquin College. Kelsey has generated many leads with employers that have resulted in quality employment for people with intellectual disabilities and autistic persons supported by Live, Work, Play. Thank you for being our partner for inclusive employment. There she is. At number 8, who doesn't love seeing a couple piles out on the canal? This one photo has so much going on. There's the Live, Work, Play match that made it possible for Stephen and Brendan to be out having fun together. Then there's a new skate Stephen received from his dad. And of course, the classic Winterlude scene that captured the imagination and warmed the hearts of our followers. Way to go, Stephen and Brendan. Number 7, remember I mentioned the partnership with Ready, Willing, and Able? Here's another great example, the Whalesbone Oyster House on Elgin Street. This post is taken from the RWA newsletter, including this great photo of Salar, who is in his 3rd year as a valued Whalesbone employee. Cheers to a fabulous restaurant that is also a fabulous employer. This next story, number 6, is a shout out to L'Arche Ottawa for creating and hosting the Developmental Disabilities and Possibilities Conference. I was honored to participate in the employment panel alongside Sammy Leek, one of our own employment success stories, and a proud federal public servant. The conference included with a series of awards, and 2 familiar faces were recognized. Daniel Anderson for his work as a community champion, and Paul Knoll as an artist and creative genius. Congratulations. Where's Rebecca Happy? Oh yeah, Rebecca's here. She organized the conference. Well done. Thank you, Daniel. At number 5, Anthony Stratton from the Live, Work, Play Community Support Team snapped this photo just as the party was getting started for Linda's 60th birthday. Linda was just getting ready to head out to the Royal Oak for her birthday festivities. Not only was this a celebration of 60 years for Linda, it was also 16 years for Anthony and Linda in their support relationship, which started back in 2009. Bravo! A bit of happy and sad news, number 4. A touching farewell letter from Batul, who is retiring after 7 years with Live, Work, Play and focusing on her counseling career. On our website, you can read up on her remarkable and somewhat improbable journey, starting as a volunteer, then as a summer student, onto the staff team, filling in as the interim volunteer coordinator, and eventually serving as a team lead with the community support staff team. A very busy 7 years. Thank you, Batul, and all the best in your future career. As we move into the top three, we've had a great mix of employment stories and community stories, and I can tell you there's also a mix in our top three. Coming in at number 3, everyone loves an independent living anniversary, and it doesn't hurt to have a great photo. Matt Suddy is celebrating 5 years from establishing his plan to move out on his own. He's pictured here working on a delicious home-cooked meal and sporting a very healthy grin. Way to go, Matt! At number 2, another anniversary celebration, this time a work anniversary for Heather Kidd at Michael's. She does valuable work on the early shift. When you walk in and the aisles and the shelves are all perfect and the merchandise is restocked and ready to go, that's because of Heather and the setup team. So congratulations, and as well to Heather and to Michael's for being a great inclusive employer. Okay, I said there was a mix of community employment in the top 3. So quick show of hands, who thinks the top story is community? Who thinks it's employment? Who did not vote? Don't forget to vote. All right. Here we go. We need the drum roll. Okay, good enough. Community wins. Sorry. At number 1, we have Chris Jones on his first day in his new apartment with Centertown Citizens Ottawa Corporation. Chris has enjoyed many years with an amazing supported living situation, but he told us it was time to try living on his own. Live Work Play worked closely with Chris, his current housing support, CCOC, and his family members to make this possible. Chris will also be celebrated at Make a Buzz Ottawa on May 9th, as he is the 60th individual we have had the honor and privilege of supporting to move to a home of his own. And with that amazing story as the worthy finale, I can announce this has been the Live Work Play News. Should play. There we go. The outro. Thanks for all the plate applause. Okay, as you can see from the agenda, it's time to start the annual awards portion of the evening. So please join me in welcoming to the podium our co-leader and director of operations, Julie Kingstone.